GPU shelves across the world go empty overnight. Gamers blame scalpers. Scalpers blame crypto miners. Nobody's looking in the direction the real answer is actually coming from, a chip company most consumers had never had a reason to think about. That company is NVIDIA, and what started as a graphics card business for video games quietly became the single company every AI lab on Earth depends on to exist. Jensen Huang, a 30-year-old engineer, founds NVIDIA out of a Denny's booth in San Jose. The pitch is simple: better graphics chips for video games. For over a decade, that's exactly what it is, a gaming hardware company, competing with a handful of rivals doing the same thing. ATI, 3DFX, names most people have already forgotten. Then in 2006, NVIDIA makes a bet almost nobody understands at the time. They release something called CUDA, a software platform that lets ordinary programmers use a graphics chip for something other than graphics, general-purpose computing.
Wall Street shrugged. Why would a gaming chip need to do math for scientists? NVIDIA spent the next decade building CUDA into every research lab, every university, every scientist's workflow, years before it mattered financially at all. It didn't make money. It made a habit. By the time deep learning exploded in the early 2010s, researchers training neural networks reached for one thing: a GPU running CUDA. Not because it was the only option on paper, because it was the only one that worked without weeks of custom engineering just to get started. A whole generation of engineers learned to build artificial intelligence speaking one company's language, and only one company's language. University courses taught it, research papers cited it, PhD theses were built entirely around it. Then came the moment that changed everything. Late 2022. ChatGPT. Suddenly, every company on Earth needed to train a large language model, and every large language model needed thousands of the exact chips NVIDIA had spent 15 years quietly perfecting. Demand didn't rise, it detonated. Companies reportedly waited months, sometimes over a year, for chip allocations. Elon Musk said at one point that acquiring GPUs had become harder than acquiring certain controlled substances. By 2024, NVIDIA controlled somewhere around 80 to 90% of the AI chip market, not through a monopoly on hardware alone, through a software moat, CUDA, that had almost 2 decades to become the only language an entire industry knew how to speak. Competitors tried to catch up. AMD had chips, Google built its own, Amazon built its own. None of it moved the needle as much as it should have, because switching away from CUDA didn't just mean buying different hardware. It meant retraining an entire engineering workforce from scratch, rewriting years of code, and betting a company's AI roadmap on tools with a fraction of the support. There's a second layer to this most people miss. NVIDIA doesn't manufacture a single chip itself. Every one of them is built by TSMC in Taiwan on the most advanced manufacturing process on the planet, which means the entire AI industry doesn't just depend on one company's software. It depends on one company's software running on chips that can only be made in one factory on an island sitting a few hundred miles from mainland China. Washington has since restricted advanced chip exports specifically because of this dependency, an entire national strategy built around who gets access to NVIDIA silicon. In 2023, NVIDIA's market cap crossed $1 trillion. In 2024, it briefly became the most valuable company on the planet, more valuable than Apple, more valuable than Microsoft, built almost entirely on a chip the average consumer will never personally buy or hold in their hands. Jensen Huang became something close to a celebrity CEO, a leather jacket and a keynote slot treated in tech circles the way stadium tours are treated everywhere else. Investors who'd bought in early watched their positions multiply by numbers that used to only exist in crypto forums. Regulators have started circling. The EU, the DOJ, and Chinese regulators have all opened or discussed antitrust inquiries into NVIDIA's market position and licensing practices. None have broken the grip yet. Here's the part nobody's talking about. Every major AI breakthrough of the last 5 years, every chatbot, every self-driving system, every drug discovery model, ran through the silicon of one company that for its first decade just wanted to make video games look better.
And every one of them still does.